The bread is toasted to a perfect crisp. The golden crust melts in the rich garlic butter, and the inside is incredibly soft. Texas Roadhouse is also famous for its premium steaks. Each Texas Roadhouse location boasts a master butcher, who you might think of as a meat master. While other chains receive their meat prepackaged from the factory, each steak here is meticulously hand-cut from blocks of meat that are fresh throughout the day, and this level of sophistication doesn't come cheap. Texas Roadhouse spends more than $1 billion a year on meat alone. That's enough to buy thousands of luxury cars. But they're determined not to compromise on quality, to maintain its class. Texas Roadhouse only serves USDA choice steaks, the top 35% of beef on the market. These cuts are not only beautifully marbled but also naturally tender and juicy, from the marbled ribeye to the rich New York strip loin. Each steak is a work of art, unlike many other restaurants. Texas Roadhouse is committed to not using frozen meat. Helping to preserve the meat's natural texture and sweetness, each steak is grilled on a hot cast-iron grill, creating a charred crust while the meat inside remains pink and juicy. Texas Roadhouse has a proprietary marinade recipe, including a combination of mild spices and herbs, giving the steak a rich flavor without overpowering the original beef flavor. Free unlimited roasted peanuts are served. When you come to Texas Roadhouse, you will not only enjoy the food, but also enjoy the fun dancing of the staff. This is a feature that helps this restaurant attract all types of customers, from families to groups of friends. But behind those seemingly perfect dishes, what horrors is Texas Roadhouse hiding? Some customers were shocked to see strange objects in their meals. The truth about food safety at Texas Roadhouse has been revealed, and it's worse than you could ever imagine. In June 2024, Kimberly, a former waitress and regular at a branch in Midland, Texas, posted a TikTok video that gave anyone goosebumps to watch. In the video, she was sitting down to eat with friends and a small child, when suddenly, a cockroach suddenly crawled out right on the dining table. A cockroach, right in the middle of a meal, at one of the most famous restaurant chains in the United States, Texas Roadhouse. Unbelievable. She wrote, "In all the years of going to Texas Roadhouse in Midland, Texas, I have never been so disappointed." The video went viral. But what haunted anyone more was the thought, if there is a cockroach crawling around in broad daylight like that, then in the kitchen, where no one is filming, what else is going on that we don't know about? We can no longer turn a blind eye to hygiene issues. This is more than just a little cockroach. This is a clear sign that food safety at Texas Roadhouse is being taken terribly lightly. You start to wonder, is every time you compliment a juicy steak or a honey-buttered toast, you're also eating something that wasn't offered to you? In February 2025, a shocking incident occurred at the Texas Roadhouse in Henrietta, New York. The restaurant was closed down after health inspectors discovered a series of extremely serious sanitation violations. It was unbelievable. Rats, cockroaches, and even rat droppings were found in the kitchen where the dishes we loved so much were prepared. But even more horrifying, rat droppings were found in the dishwasher and the ingredient storage area. Can you imagine? What should be a perfectly clean environment, where succulent steaks and crispy peanuts are prepared, is surrounded by bacteria, rat hairs, and cockroach carcasses. Even the bags of peanuts, the signature dish that every guest at Texas Roadhouse has ever picked up, reportedly show signs of being gnawed on. Are you sure that the bag of peanuts you are munching on is not the late-night snack of a rat? Believe me, the rat doesn't care if you are a VIP or a casual visitor. It just needs to know there is something delicious to nibble on in the kitchen. But that's not all. If you think you're getting a free bag of peanuts at the very least, be careful of the floor. Anyone who's been to a Texas Roadhouse knows that peanut shells littering the floor are an unofficial specialty. But after reading about the many cases of customers slipping, breaking bones, and then suing. You'll want to tiptoe every time you go to the bathroom. Someone slipped right next to your table that day, and you still remember the loud bang. Texas Roadhouse may call it signature dining, but to customers, it's a safety trap disguised by a lively atmosphere and country music. A recent article about a group of 13 diners suffering from food poisoning after dining at a Texas Roadhouse in Cedar Rapids, Iowa caused a stir. The Lynn County Health Department released the results of its investigation, and customers turned pale. Norovirus, a highly contagious virus that can be transmitted through food contaminated with feces or vomit, was the culprit. The cause was determined to be an employee who did not wash his hands properly after using the restroom, leading to the transmission of the virus to the food. It really makes me sick. Did you know? All it takes is one employee who does not wash his hands after using the restroom, or one surface that is not properly disinfected, and the entire restaurant can become an outbreak site. Every bite of steak, every spoonful of mashed potatoes you put in your mouth, can be a ticket inviting norovirus to visit your stomach. Even scarier, Texas Roadhouse can also be the site of an outbreak. Did you know that in 2018, a branch in Marietta, Georgia, was involved in an E. coli outbreak that spread to multiple states? That's not just a minor incident. E. coli is a type of bacteria that can cause serious damage to the digestive system, even death, if not detected and treated promptly. Imagine ordering a medium rare steak, and a few hours later, you're struggling in the emergency room. But that's not all. In October 2020, a food service worker at a Texas Roadhouse in Bangor, Maine, was confirmed to have hepatitis A. The worker worked and handled food between October 16th and 29th, except for the 19th and 28th. The Maine Department of Health encouraged customers who ate at the restaurant during that time to get vaccinated to prevent the disease. Hepatitis A can be transmitted through contaminated food, which means that if just one worker doesn't wash their hands properly, the disease can go straight to your mouth. It's creepy. What should have been a fun night out turned into a lifelong health scare. Do you still think Texas Roadhouse is a safe place for family dining? This information makes anyone shudder, from a lover of Texas Roadhouse, gradually turning into a feeling of caution and suspicion. Eating is not only about deliciousness, but also about health safety. And here, clearly there are too many big question marks. Food at Texas Roadhouse. The truth is not as advertised. Are you being fooled? Texas Roadhouse always advertises that everything is made from scratch and that they always use fresh, premium beef, hand-cut every day. But in reality, there are disappointing truths behind these advertisements that many people probably don't know. According to several Reddit posts, porterhouse T-bone steaks are allegedly shipped to restaurants pre-cut and frozen. A Texas Roadhouse employee shared on Reddit, "My managers always told me not to recommend the porterhouse T-bone steak, which is considered the chain's bad steak." Another Reddit post from a former employee alleged that the porterhouse T-bone steak was the only steak not cut on site. Due to the restaurant's lack of the necessary bone-cutting equipment, the quality of some steaks, like the Dallas filet, can vary depending on the source, with some cuts being USDA Select instead of USDA Choice. One of the more controversial items is the steak fries. Although Texas Roadhouse claims to make everything from scratch, the fries are not actually fried fresh on site, but are instead delivered frozen. This has left many diners feeling cheated into thinking they are eating fresh fries, when in reality they are a pre-cooked dish. Another dish that has many people equally upset is the kids' macaroni and cheese. This dish is not made from scratch, but rather a prepackaged Kraft mac and cheese. This has many people feeling dissatisfied with having to spend a small amount of money for such a ready-made dish. One customer shared on TikTok that she had to pay $40 for a portion of macaroni and cheese, but usually received the dish from a Kraft box. Texas Roadhouse has confirmed that they use Kraft in some locations. Although most branches have switched to the homemade version, the fact is, when customers pay for a dish at a restaurant, they expect to receive a meticulously prepared dish, not something that can be found on the supermarket shelf. Texas Roadhouse food quality is not perfect. One of Texas Roadhouse's strengths is its affordable prices. However, this sometimes comes at the expense of quality. A recent review on Business Insider compared the cheapest steak meals at 3 popular restaurant chains: Outback Steakhouse, Longhorn Steakhouse, and Texas Roadhouse. The results showed that while Texas Roadhouse had the lowest price, $14 for a 6-ounce steak with mashed potatoes and broccoli, the steak was tough and the sides were overcooked. Meanwhile, Outback Steakhouse was rated higher for the quality of its food, despite its higher price. Think Texas Roadhouse only sells steaks? Wrong. They've also gotten themselves into some high-profile lawsuits. Texas Roadhouse is being sued by a class action lawsuit for inaccurately describing ingredients on its menu. It turns out that what appear to be Texas Roadhouse's signature dishes, like grilled shrimp, grilled salmon, and honey butter toast, are allegedly not an accurate representation of the actual ingredients. One of the most criticized dishes is the grilled shrimp. On the menu, it is described as fresh shrimp, grilled over a charcoal fire. But the shrimp is allegedly not fresh, and may have been frozen for a long time before being cooked. This is causing frustration for many diners who believe they are eating fresh food when in fact they are not. Many customers have shared that the menu at Texas Roadhouse is also misleading about calories and fat. A seemingly healthy salad like the chicken Caesar salad can contain more than 1,000 calories thanks to the cheese, heavy dressing, and buttered bread that comes with it. The Texas Peach Fuzz cocktail sounds light but contains the same amount of sugar as 5 cans of soda. The company's website did not list nutrition facts, and only after pressure from consumer groups did Texas Roadhouse disclose this information. This has caused a huge uproar among customers who feel misled by misleading information. They have had to reconsider whether they can trust restaurants like Texas Roadhouse to provide transparent information about the food they eat. This class action lawsuit is not simply a dispute about misinformation, but also a reminder of the responsibility restaurants have to ensure transparency and honesty with their customers. Actions like this can seriously damage the reputation of a major brand. And one cannot help but wonder whether Texas Roadhouse can ever restore customer trust after this incident. Texas Roadhouse has been embroiled in controversy over age discrimination. In 2017, the popular brand had to pay a whopping $12 million to settle a lawsuit by the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, and the reason behind this huge sum was age discrimination, according to the lawsuit. Texas Roadhouse refused to hire people over 40 years old for front-of-house positions such as servers and receptionists, simply because they wanted to maintain a young and dynamic image. It is true that in the F&B industry, maintaining a dynamic and youthful image can be an important factor, but there is no denying that it is blatant age discrimination. This has caused outrage in the community and made many people feel that they were not treated fairly just because of their age. In addition to the compensation, Texas Roadhouse also pledged to change its hiring and training policies to ensure anti-discrimination practices. The story doesn't end there. Several Texas Roadhouse employees have come forward with allegations of exploitation. They say they were not paid on time, were denied proper breaks, and were forced to work overtime without adequate compensation. These allegations have grown into a series of lawsuits across multiple states, raising questions about how the restaurant chain manages and enforces employee rights. Texas Roadhouse is famous for being a tip-based restaurant chain, meaning that servers rely heavily on tips from customers. The base wage here is very low, in some places as low as $2, 13 hour, according to U.S. federal law for the restaurant industry. The pressure to please customers at all costs leaves many employees tired and demotivated. In addition, the lack of reasonable breaks and the requirement to work long hours are also issues reported by employees, contributing to high levels of stress at work. These incidents make anyone wonder whether a major brand like Texas Roadhouse really cares about employee well-being and equal employment policies. These incidents will certainly continue to be debated, and if nothing changes, Texas Roadhouse could face more serious problems in the future. You may be shocked to learn that there are still negative stories about race and inequality at Texas Roadhouse. You can't help but feel heartbroken when you hear about the lawsuit that happened in 2023. When a former black employee of Texas Roadhouse sued the company after being fired without just cause. What's more, the person alleged that their firing was entirely due to racial bias. They claimed that the company did not provide a clear reason for the firing and that it happened because of the color of their skin. This lawsuit once again raises questions about the fairness and treatment of Texas Roadhouse employees of diverse backgrounds. In 2016, a Texas Roadhouse branch in Columbus, Ohio, was accused of harassment of female employees, including a teenager, by a restaurant manager. The company agreed to pay $1.4 million to settle the lawsuit and pledged to take preventative measures in the future. The incident was one of several serious scandals that have damaged Texas Roadhouse's reputation. But the negative story doesn't end there. In 2017, the company was sued for allegedly having a website that was not blind-friendly. This made it difficult for blind people to easily access Texas Roadhouse's online information and services. These people certainly felt left out and not treated as equals to other customers. While the company failed to address the needs of this important customer segment, a shocking truth about Texas Roadhouse has been revealed. These trust combos are actually cleverly picking your pocket. You know, the saving combo trick. You may have been a victim. One day, a customer tried ordering a single item, and guess what? They saved almost $3. And the savings combo was not saving at all. Texas Roadhouse is very good at controlling the psychology of customers. The most profitable dishes are always placed in the middle of the screen, with glossy images and sparkling lights, while the simple, affordable dishes are pushed into small corners, rarely seen. They are drowned in hidden corners like kids who were not invited to the prom. The lights, the aromas, the red and yellow colors, all are carefully researched to make you order more, spend more. The names of the dishes sound like a Western adventure. Ranger Rib Basket, Cowboy Sirloin, Big Texan Combo. The music is cheerful. The smell of garlic butter is strong, awakening all the senses. You are no longer sober enough to analyze each price line. You are buying emotions, not food, as a customer. You don't mind spending money, as long as you know what you're paying for. Not to mention, when it comes to Texas Roadhouse's pricing strategy, you'll have to wonder if the promotions are genuine or just a clever ploy. When you first hear about Texas Roadhouse's early dine menu, you think, wow, that's great. A steak for just over $10. What could be better? But life isn't always that way. You arrive at the restaurant on a weekday afternoon, during prime time, and order a meal advertised for just $10.99. And then you see what smart marketing is all about. Yes, the food was discounted, but when it arrived, the steak was small, the side dishes were cold, and the rest of the meal was underwhelming. You've probably had better food at smaller steakhouses, and the prices were similar. Honestly, this deal felt more like a cheapskate ploy than a genuine attempt to please customers. But you can learn a super cool trick that not everyone knows by watching this video. A friend who works at Texas Roadhouse once revealed, "Want to really save money? Order takeout from the kids menu." It sounds weird, but it works. A 6-ounce kid's steak, with a side, a soft drink, a roll, and free roasted peanuts. costs just $12. If you were sitting down at a restaurant, a similar portion on the adult menu would cost closer to $20. Some customers have tried it a few times and have been completely satisfied, with just enough to fill them up without breaking the bank. Of course, not all branches allow adults to order from the kids' menu, but if you order takeaway, chances are the staff won't double-check. A small tip, but a big saver if you're a regular eater. The fight for free bread when trust melts like cinnamon butter. If you've ever been to Texas Roadhouse, you've probably fallen in love with the feeling of being handed a basket of warm, soft, cinnamon-slathered bread rolls. And the best part, it's free. But then, the unthinkable happened. One evening, as soon as a customer sat down, the staff smiled and said, "Sorry, each table only gets 2 free sandwiches." In that moment, you see every definition of American generosity collapse like an oven without power. Many other customers were also surprised. Reddit, Yelp, TikTok exploded with posts with titles like "Texas Roadhouse and the Bread Scam" or "I came for the bread, stayed for the frustration." From a small cake into a big crack in trust, because people were angry not only because of the cake, but also because of the inflexible attitude, the awkward service, and worse, the feeling of being ignored. Loyal customers, who once praised us, now come back only to ask, are we customers or are we beggars? Customer service. Sometimes nice, sometimes like. Black comedy. A guest who had experienced it said that it was her daughter's birthday and she had booked a table in advance. When she arrived, she still had to wait in line for 45 minutes. When she was invited in, the table was still wet. The food was served half-cooked or undercooked. When she asked the staff for feedback, she received a forced smile and the words, "Yes, I have noted it." No apology, no correction, no concern. Is this the service standard of America's favorite restaurant? Or is it just a PR stunt? With black comedy behind the scenes. The food is delicious, but the doctor is worried. You can't lie. The barbecue at Texas Roadhouse is delicious. But then, after a few full meals and coming home with a racing heart, dry throat, and a slight headache, you start to wonder, is the delicious food silently killing me? According to a study by the Center for Science in the Public Interest, CSPI, many of the dishes at Texas Roadhouse are among the most calorie-dense in America. A regular meal at Texas Roadhouse, without soda or appetizers, can contain up to 500 mg of sodium, or 75% of the recommended daily intake. Some items, like the smokehouse burger, contain up to 490 ml of sodium and 80 calories, far exceeding the heart-healthy limit. A single serving of cheese fries can provide more than 2 calories, far exceeding an adult's daily needs. A 12-ounce ribeye steak with cheese bread and potatoes can top 600 calories. And if you add a side of mashed potatoes, cinnamon rolls, or some deep-fried appetizer, congratulations! You've just consumed 2 days' worth of sodium in one dinner. Regular consumption of such foods can lead to health problems like high blood pressure and heart disease. Kids' meals aren't as light as you think. The mini cheeseburgers on the kids' menu have 670 calories, 36 grams of fat, and nearly 1 waters of sodium. This raises concerns about healthy eating for young children. The deliciousness they're selling you isn't just spice, it's overkill. You used to think, I'm healthy. Eating a little salt is fine. But if you are an office worker, have little exercise, and have a family gene for high blood pressure, this is no joke. Many dishes at Texas Roadhouse are heavily seasoned, sweet, salty, and fat. Everywhere, each bite is a slight shock to the heart, liver, kidneys, and blood vessels. Do you think you are enjoying American Western cuisine? No. Maybe you are betting your health on the drinking table. Texas Roadhouse is known for its hearty food. But if you're looking for healthier options on the menu, don't worry. While their menu is dominated by high-calorie steaks, fried chicken, or mashed potatoes, there are still easy options that will help you maintain a healthy diet while still enjoying great taste. Caesar salad with grilled chicken, a nutritious, fat-free choice. When thinking about salad, many people may worry about this dish not being filling enough. However, the Caesar salad with grilled chicken from Texas Roadhouse is a great choice. Grilled chicken not only provides a large amount of protein for the body, but also very little saturated fat compared to fried chicken dishes, combined with fresh green vegetables. This salad also helps you add fiber, vitamins, and minerals, supports digestion, and helps the body stay healthy. If you are a lover of fresh food but do not want to eat too much starch, this salad will be an ideal choice. Steamed broccoli, a vitamin-rich, low-calorie side dish. There's no denying that broccoli is one of the healthiest vegetables around, known for its high vitamin C, vitamin K, and antioxidant content. Steamed broccoli at Texas Roadhouse is a simple yet nutritious dish. In fact, steamed broccoli is not only low in calories but also rich in fiber, helping you feel full for a long time without having to worry about accumulating excess fat. This is the ideal side dish if you want to add nutrition without adding too many calories to your diet. Grilled salmon. Easily add omega-3 to your body. Salmon is always a great choice for those who want to add omega-3 fatty acids to their diet. Omega-3 plays a very important role in maintaining heart health and reducing inflammation. When grilled instead of fried, salmon retains its freshness and limits the amount of unhealthy fats. Grilled chicken, the perfect alternative to fried food. If you want to enjoy chicken but don't want to consume too many calories and fat from fried chicken, grilled chicken is the ideal alternative. Grilled chicken remains tender and juicy, while providing high-quality protein without the excess fat. At Texas Roadhouse, you can choose grilled chicken with low-calorie sides like veggies, broccoli, or baked potatoes instead of fries. This is a great way to enjoy the flavor of chicken without worrying about eating too much fat. Grilled salmon at Texas Roadhouse is both delicious and healthy, helping you eat not only deliciously but also healthily. You can combine grilled salmon with side dishes such as steamed broccoli or baked potatoes for a complete and balanced meal. A soda at Texas Roadhouse can add $2 or $3 to your bill and contain as many as 200 to 300 calories. Instead, ask for water or unsweetened iced tea, which is both healthier and cheaper. Desserts like the Big Ol' Brownie or Granny's Apple Classic are often high in sugar and calories. If you still want to end your meal on a sweet note, share your meal with a companion instead of ordering a large portion. Maybe you don't know. Behind the success and popularity of Texas Roadhouse, a famous restaurant chain in the U.S., is a tragic story. The story is not about a financial collapse or a shocking accident, but about a personal tragedy for Texas Roadhouse founder and CEO Wayne Kent Taylor. Wayne Kent Taylor is the founder and CEO of Texas Roadhouse. He founded Texas Roadhouse in 1993 in Clarksville, Indiana. Taylor had a simple vision: to create a restaurant that served delicious food in a comfortable and affordable environment that felt like home. From a small restaurant, Texas Roadhouse quickly grew into a national brand with more than 600 branches across the United States. After contracting COVID-19 in 2020, Mr. Taylor began to experience some serious health problems. Although he recovered, he could not escape the lingering symptoms of the disease, especially the severe tinnitus that he suffered every day. This feeling not only caused him physical pain, but also seriously affected his mental health. On March 18, 2021, Texas Roadhouse faced a huge shock when its founder and CEO, Wayne Kent Taylor, passed away at the age of 65. Wayne Kent Taylor is a humane man. Affection for employees before his death. Wayne Kent Taylor showed a noble and humane spirit. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit hard, many restaurants and businesses had to close or cut staff to cope with the difficult situation. While many companies cut costs and profits, Taylor made a different decision. He donated his entire salary and bonus to support Texas Roadhouse employees who were struggling because of the pandemic. The loss of a leader like Wayne Kent Taylor was a shock not only to his family but also to the thousands of employees of Texas Roadhouse. Wayne Kent Taylor's death has also opened up a discussion about mental health, especially in the context of the post-COVID-19 fallout. Texas Roadhouse. Are you back? Texas Roadhouse food is good, but you need to wake up. The first time you walk into Texas Roadhouse, the warm yellow lights, the fragrant smell of butter, the country music, and the perfect steak in front of you. You feel like you're living a little American dream. But then, you realize that dream could end with a prescription for blood pressure medication. You still want to eat well, but now you choose to eat mindfully. You read the menu more carefully, ask about the ingredients, and, most importantly, listen to your body after you finish eating. Texas Roadhouse will always be a culinary icon for many, but for its customers, it's a reminder that eating isn't just an instinctive act, but a conscious choice. Eating with your mouth is easy. Eating with your brain is difficult.